Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home. Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home.
Hello, everybody. Hi. My name is Raoul Bresser. I'm police officer with the Arlington Police Department. Approximately, I think 1 year ago, Arlington started a program called One Cop. And what it is Arlington or the police department trying to go into the community where usually police officers are not present or where they don't have a big reach and there's no familiarity inside the communities with the police or what the police does. And I signed up for this program and I have been very welcomed here in the temple, and I'm pretty much coming ever since over here. Crime prevention. Crime prevention in general is a very difficult task for a police department because most of what we do is reactive. Somebody has an accident, they call us, we respond. Somebody said, hey, I got hit, something got stolen, we go and we respond. To find a way for people to be able, or the police to be able to be proactive, to be there before something happens, only has so many options. One option is to be present in the community, so trust is built, and that people call and say, hey, I've seen something. Nothing has happened yet, but it looks like there's a person walking around looking into vehicles, or it's 100 degrees outside, he has a big jacket on, something is not right. So to this extent. And the presentation of today is giving some tips how you personally can be staying safe in an environment and how you spot things that are out of place. And if you then call the police, what questions you can be expected to be asked. In terms of vehicles, there's a lot of people, especially in the summer, unfortunately because schools are out and so many kids are around and they're bored, they break into vehicles. They look through, if they see something in plain view, a computer, a purse, or anything that is lying on the passenger seat, they know, okay, there's something I can grab, and they might break the window and go in and take the items out. So a good tip is always, if you park somewhere, to hide the stuff that is of value. Either put it in the trunk, but don't leave it on your passenger seat or driver's seat or a cell phone that can be seen from the outside. This is the best practice for your home. Keep all doors locked at all time. Keep the garage doors closed. And don't leave any identifying information, like a driver's license or a credit card or social security card, somewhere close to a window where it can be seen. People take these numbers and they're gonna try to steal your identity and then commit crimes on your name, or they're signing up for a payment plan of a car or anything they buy by using your name. It seems, when I first heard it, that it should be difficult, but it's actually fairly easy because they can use your name and change your address, so all communication will be coming through them. You will only learn about it once your credit statement comes or a bank is asking you to pay for something that you have never signed up for. This is for businesses, a best practice. And we have been, when I first started coming here, I saw that the gate was always open, the doors were always open. I talked then with Off about it, and she started locking the gates. And there's a Ring doorbell now here at the front door. I understand that there have been incidents as well in the Thai community taking place where people came and they were informed that there's a lot of cash on certain events available. So they came and targeted specifically for these events where cash is present so they can steal it. Cash is not traceable, so once it's gone, it's very difficult for us to find it. So they implemented here a little bit of a quiz in there. So if you see on the left side, like a very dark area of parking, and on the right side, very bright, they're asking, which is probably more like a rhetorical question, where would you rather park? You always want to be close to people and close where light is, because bad people don't want to be seen. So they always choose the darkness. What is suspicious? And as I mentioned before, any activity that seems unusual for the area or during the time or weather conditions. Like I said, somebody with a big jacket in the summer. When you call 911, you will come to somebody that is the 911 call taker. So there's 2 layers in between before it comes to an officer. The 911 call taker is asking you a lot of questions that might seem overwhelming to you. They're like, okay, what do you see? Where are you at? Are you safe? Describe the person that you see. Describe what you're seeing. If somebody's coming to your house, or if somebody's pulling on a door handle, looking into windows. If there's a car parked next to another car and somebody's just standing out there and looking around like a lookout, making sure that nobody else is looking, why people might roll under the car and they cut out the catalytic converter, which that's a big thing right now. It takes them 30 seconds. They have an electric saw, they cut it, and they can sell the scrap metal for $100. When you see somebody and when they ask you to describe the person, they will always ask you to describe him from head to toe. So it will be what kind of hair, as he has facial hair, eye color, glasses, any tattoos, was he white, was he black, Hispanic, any scars, anything that's unique on an identifier level. Yeah, it looks like he had a big scarf on his right arm. What sex he was, and approximately the weight. Yeah, here they're saying that's a suspicious vehicle. It has no doors, no windshield. And if you would to describe it, you go by color, what you think, what year it is, what make, who's the manufacturer of that vehicle. Is it a 2-door? Is it a 4-door? Does it has any license plate? And if it was driving away, in what direction it was driving. There's options for learning if you're more interested to learn. E-learning alert.org gives civilian the options as well, since it has become a big topic, not only in Texas but nationwide, that there's mass shootings. And there could be online training available how you respond to that. Because everybody is going to come into a moment where they don't know how their body react to what they have just seen. And they will give some useful tips. Some people run away, some people hide, some people freeze. There's this fight or flight reaction of your body. These are resources. You can always call 911. We have a community service unit. They mainly work though Monday to Friday, not on the weekend. And arlingtonpd.org has a lot of helpful links, like commonly asked questions, where you can find some answers. Arlington is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere where people are going to seek information or input. We are present on that level and give useful tips. Any particular questions? One thing I wanted to mention, if it's regarding cars, the city of Arlington now has a pretty good system set up where cameras, not traffic cameras, but license plate capturing cameras are installed. So if somebody would for example, have an accident with you and he doesn't stop but takes off, if you notate the license plate, there's a good chance that we can locate that vehicle through the cameras throughout the city. That's not only in this area of the city, but it goes into the south and in the east district as well. Yes, sir.
I got one question.
Yeah.
From the brochure itself, you give us a tip on the house, which is like the IRS or government never call you for
Correct.
education. I didn't see the temple is generous, open for everyone to come in. And from the handout itself, it's kind of obvious, suspicious of the people that come in, like, you know, the car open, the broken car, or people that big jacket, like mentioned before. So that's like obvious stuff. But what I want to know is, you from your experience, you have any tip that you give us to look for something that is look like it's normal, but it's not normal. You know, when they come in, kind of prevent the criminal before they going to do something bad. I mean, from your experience, not from the book.
Yeah. It's a little, I think there's a little bit of a conflict here because of the openness and the peacefulness of the temple, and everybody can be part of it. And then at the same time being cautious of who you invite into your ceremonies. A general rule is always you gotta go with your gut feeling. If anything is like giving you a bad feeling here, you can always, it's at the end of the day, it's your temple, right? So if somebody is invited here, you can apply some kind of rules. If they're wandering off in the hallways, you can tell them, hey, this is not part of the ceremony. Takes in here, and here's the restroom. Besides that, you can ask for a tour, and we give you a tour, but you cannot wander off by yourself.
And the thing is, you don't want to make an accusation to people. Maybe they didn't have an intent to do that.
Yes.
But then you have like suspicious about it, and you go approach them and say, try to do this or something. So that's something that well, we don't want to like, engage with you. So.
Yeah, I understand that there's a conflict, but
I mean, for us, I mean, yeah, so we want to look for something that kind of prevent it before it happens. Because all people here, we all generous people. So
yeah.
we don't want anything bad to happen.
If somebody would ask specific question, that would be a red flag for me. Like, where are the quarters of the monks? Where are the monks sleeping? And about the setup of the temple more, that would give me like they're trying to figure out where values are kept. Because even if they participate, they will see that it goes here, and then they want to know where it goes from this position. Because obviously they're not going to take stuff in the middle of a ceremony.
Kind of hard question.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Well, Texas has been the fastest growing state in the country with respect to population and jobs. I think we've created more non-government jobs in the last 10 years than any state in the country. How do cities like Arlington determine proper staffing of police relative to the population of the city? Is there a formula they use or what?
That's
I'm sure the staffing is proper and adequate and not staffed.
so. I gotta go back a little bit by answering that. So each side of town, we are here on the North District, and then we have East, South, and West. Each side of town monitors and evaluates the amount of calls for service. So North side, where we are at, because of the stadium and all these attractions that we have here, Six Flags and ballpark and the Cowboy Stadium and Texas Live, we have on average the most amount of calls for service. And staffing for the particular shifts, we work a 3-shift model here in the north side. So the first part of the department starts at 6 a.m. and they work until 4 p.m. The shift that I'm working on, we start at 2 p.m. till midnight. And the last shift comes in at 9 p.m. in the evening and works until 7 in the morning. So the police is there 24 hours with overlap always, that there's still another shift before the new one starts. the staffing is determined on when they evaluate from the last month, last quarter, the amount of calls, and when the calls came out, how many officers needs to be there on a particular day. I'm not aware that population or that the number of residents is influencing the amount of officers that needs to be there. Because if you have a large city but nobody calls the police, we don't need more officers just because we have more residents. If there's big events taking place, like on AT&T Stadium when the Cowboys play, or when, what is her name? The singer that came here 3 days. Yeah, if she comes here, then from a security point of view, and we have an own department from Homeland Security, they will evaluate based on the amount of people that will be present in a stadium, how many officers needs to be in the stadium for security purposes. And that are usually Arlington officers that are paid off duty. They work these events when they're not working in patrol capacity. And we will just be there to assist for anything that floats out of the stadium. But the containment of the stadium will be done by off-duty officers. And it will be paid for by the venue. So if AT&T has a big Cowboy game, usually there's, in the tunnels where the supplies are taking place, there's a SWAT team staged. There are snipers on the roof. Because it's such a big event, if anything would ever happen there need to be proper response. We cannot bring people to the roof if it's already too late. So they're commonly practiced in there as well. Even other agencies come and want to practice like emergency drills in a big stadium like this.
One reason I ask officers is that we live in Addison, and recently a city council candidate came by my door to seek my support for a vote. So we have a population that keeps growing. We're building all these new apartments, got to proportionally increase the staff of police. That flies in the face of what you said as far as, it's the activity of the area, not necessarily population.
And that's my assumption, to be honest. I only know this is stuff that goes a little bit higher in the rank than just a police officer, how they planned it, and eventually the mayor has to make the decision. I know that Arlington always hires. So other departments might have like, okay, we have hiring events twice a year. We always hire. And then we wait until we have enough people and set up a training academy. We have our own academies and they run through it and then they get trained on the street as patrol officers. But we always are hiring. So if you know somebody that would be a good candidate for our police department, you can refer them to me. I have my card in the bag or was handed out, and we can get them more information about it. But I think in general, in the nation, there's a shortage of police officers. It would be great if we always had 3, 4, 5 people above the minimum staffing that we have to have. That would be awesome. Yeah, please.
How fast you respond to the call? Let's say if something happens, let's say middle of the night, and someone suspicious something, and they don't want to be safe, they just want to call 911, right?
Yes.
Okay, so after the call, how fast where will you get the call to respond to that call?
Yeah, I don't think I can give you a minute amount because so if it's an emergency, it will come out as an emergency for us as well. So the dispatchers.
It depends on the situation.
Yes, yeah. So then somebody said yesterday broke into my vehicle. I want to make a report. You can expect to wait maybe up to an hour for somebody to show up. Because if you call and say, hey, my boyfriend just punched me in the face and now he's holding a knife in his hand, you can probably expect an officer to be there within 60 seconds. So we...
Heard a gunshot or somebody get shot right in front of you.
Yes, yeah, that's gonna be... Yes, yeah. And especially if it's in the night, there's not a lot of traffic, and we can go very fast to these calls. If it's 12 o'clock and there's traffic, we still can go with lights and sirens, but they still have to move out of the way. We cannot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any more question? Would you like to ask Jasmine? No.
Yeah.
I think I saw some like the video. I saw some video from TikTok, and then it's about like when you get in the car and have some stranger in the back. So the video is shows that okay, if the stranger get in your back, you just need to adjust your seat quickly. But right now the car is the driver's seat is automatic.
Electric.
So, yeah, it's electric, and it's not like I can adjust it like so quickly and we can get out. So if this case happen, any recommendation, any suggestion?
How would the stranger get in your car?
Just like okay, like
No, I understand.
like let's say okay, I'll go shopping.
Yeah.
And then I'll put our stuff in the car. And I have noticed like is there any stranger or any person around, and as a slowly doing things and forgot to lock the door. So what if this thing happen? Is there any way only I can like escape from that situation, or just?
If, in general, if you feel like your life is being threatened or in danger of you being assaulted, from my opinion, your property at that point is not important. You're probably better off leaving your car and running away. Yeah, you can replace a vehicle or your groceries, but your life.
Yeah, it's just a video on the TikTok that
Yeah.
shows like how you can like protect yourself if somebody get in your car. But I don't think that work anymore.
So they had an old car where you just pull it up and put it all the way back. But that's cars probably nowadays the cars, you sit in it, you put it in drive and they lock all doors. The old cars didn't do that neither. So like it used to be at the traffic light, people would just open your door and get in and told you to get out or give them their purse. But all doors are locking now when vehicles drive. So that's not going to be that easy anymore. But still, a general rule would be priority of life is number one. Property takes a little bit to get to it. You're welcome. Yeah, Miss.
According to the question, does Arlington Police Department offer some kind of like self-defense training course to civilian?
I know we do have a civilian police academy, like a citizen police academy. And you be trained and exposed to all units that we have. So you see the unit with the dogs and the SWAT team that responds to the very violent situation. And I'm not sure if they teach the self-defense that we are using in there. Do you know such? Do we do that?
No, we don't teach the self-defense class. We, Officer Brett Service talks about is that we have this police academy just so that people can go and see what the training that we do is part of the community. It's not a self-defense.
Is it saying or you have to process?
I don't want to be a police.
No.
No offense, but I just want to see you guys have like different. It would be really nice. You know what I mean? To just like, oh, we have a self-defense class.
It's not a self-defense, but we train like you get to shoot guns, you get to drive a police car just to see what people do. It's a well-working meeting one initiative.
Oh, the ride along?
And they do it at night. They do it at night, they do it for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah, it's a civilian.
So is that, whatever you said is, anyone can participate?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody that participates, you got to go through the background check.
Oh, so you have to go to the process before you can go to the class? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's good though.
Yeah.
So like.
You could go. Yes. Yeah.
Take a class or something, so like a self-protection, something like that.
Yeah, you will understand what we are preview. This in short what we are doing. So You get an,
Maybe somebody grab you to the back, something like that, and you know how you protect yourself. That's true for the girl.
it's not going to be so specific on you know, I don't want to create false expectation. It's not going to be like that. It's more like what our job entails. You know, it's because it's very complex. If we decide somebody has to go to jail against their will, we're taking somebody's freedom away. So we have to have the law that allows us to violate their Fourth Amendment right? You cannot just take somebody to jail because you feel like it. You have to have the criminal offense that allow you to do that. So this is the majority of our training. And then, of course, we need to be able to drive a car very fast in a high-stress situation. We need to be able to respond, to shoot, to know when we're allowed to shoot or when we have to use other tools that are not going to have physical harm to the person afterwards. So this is more, I think, the mindfulness of our job. This particular situation, if somebody stands behind you, what I'm going to do next. We're not being trained in this situation. We have scenarios of there's a mentally ill person, or he's claiming he has a gun, he wants to kill himself. How high is the threshold for him to kill you? He already made peace with killing himself. So how far away is for him to do this instead of this? So these are all just awareness for us to think about in the situations. And situations are never the same. They're always dynamic. They change. People change when they see us. Either they're compliant or they're like, oh no, I'm not going back to jail. Yeah.
Like what if you're sitting at the light and someone tries to carjack? I've seen that in New York City a lot, but your car's locked. So if they have a gun at you to open it, what should you do? Should you drive forward or run over their foot?
If somebody would point a gun at me, and I would do what they say. Like I said, it's your life.
They don't have a gun that's trying to open it.
Yeah, then I would drive off. Yeah, make a diversion, go right or left, or reverse, whatever it takes them to lose the grip of your door. Any other question? Thank you very much.
At this moment, I would like to invite Kamik Kaisian Lin to say something. So thank you, Officer Robert.
Thank you. On behalf of Meditation Center of Texas, we would like to thank you, Robert, and the Arlington Police Department, who always spend time and come over here and check on us and things like that. We really appreciate that. It makes us feel safe and sound and secure and things like that. You don't have to show up your face, just your cars parked out front. It makes us really feel like, oh, it's good. So just want to let you know that we appreciate your kind thought and your protection. And if there's anything that we can do to help the Arlington Police Department, please don't hesitate. Just come to the temple and tell the staff or tell the abbot. We will fully give you the support. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you. And I would like to invite Pidia to give the crystal ball to Officer Robert. No, May, please. And then after this, we will take a good picture. Could you please look at the camera? Sadhu. And then please everyone come and join us to take a good picture together.
Take this off my shoes. Someone take me home. Someone take me.
I found no cure for the loneliness. I found no cure for the sickness. Nothing here feels like home. Crowded streets, but I'm all alone.
I found no cure for the loneliness. I found no cure for the sickness. Nothing here feels like home.